It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
And I see a 5-year-old standing on a statue, yelling 50 feet away, "Hey, Dad! I think this is Jesus!"
Jesus himself.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have any shoes! So anyway, we're not welcome back to that subject.
And Steve.
I would absolutely go to Spookfest.
You would? You would try?
Yeah, I'd be there.
You would spend call it $200 to get down there.
Heck yeah.
A couple $100 for these tickets to get to the.
A couple $100?
If you want to go a couple nights, it's gonna be a couple $100.
Oh, we're going a couple of nights?
2 nights.
To the same thing?
Yeah. Because it's too busy to get through it all in one night.
All right, I'm out.
Don't feel quite as bad about not asking you now.
No desire. Oh, wow, look, a ghost.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
Oh, man. I love it when you find those clips from, I don't know, how long ago was that? It could have been years ago.
Yeah, is that a good or a bad thing? Because that very insulting, not insulting, that very dismissive reply by you could have been this week, could have been 9 years ago. And it is officially, on this podcast, April, which means we are in the month of our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
So that could have been from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about our growth as people.
I'm perfectly fine with
but
what
I
it
love
says.
it. And boy, that brings me right back, though. It's about that time of year where I start seeing if you want to go with me down to Spookfest.
Start playing in Spookfest. Now, again, that's like in Orlando.
And that would be a trip to Orlando, Florida, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah. You early April, we got a lot to get to today.
Yeah, we sure do.
Gauging your interest. Can I count on you to be in for the big August, September, or October trip?
August? August is too early for Spookfest.
In Orlando, it's also a little bit hot.
A little bit?
September. The September trip down to Spookfest in Orlando, Florida. You're in?
I'll get back to you on that.
Boy, that's as good as a yes in my book. I'm going to be beaming for like 3 weeks until we talk about it again. Yeah, he said, I don't know. He said he'll get back to me. So it's pretty much a yeah.
I never said such a thing.
But we left last week.
Can we call it a cliffhanger?
It was a bit of a cliffhanger where I honestly never expected an update when we 3 weeks ago now spoke about the garbage your neighbors left when they left. So when I pulled in last week and there was a dumpster there,
Yeah.
and we realized we still wanted to get a good peek at the power wheel. So we did what any good, intrepid, investigative podcasters would do. John Walczak would be proud.
Yeah. There was so many crunching leaves.
We should have called John before and said, hey, we're going to do this. One, can you fly up or over wherever you're at?
Yeah.
And stop whatever investigation you're doing right now into murderers, or they're missing, or they're dead, and come help us find the case of the power wheel in the dumpster.
And what exactly is the case that we're trying to solve here? The mystery?
Well, we needed to just be sneaky because we were sneaking into a neighbor's dumpster to look at this. So we did what any good podcasters will do, and we recorded it all.
Yeah.
So. Did we want to play the audio?
Yeah. Why don't we can drop the audio in here. It's a couple minutes long.
Yeah. So this is what it sounded like. And again, you'll be able to see this video. This will be posted on our social media at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. It may end up being a link to the YouTube if the video is too large, but this is what it sounded like. And again, you can see what it looked like as we investigated Steve's neighbor's junk.
Yeah, we legit went dumpster diving.
Okay, we are on investigative mode as we move over to Steve's neighbors to investigate the dumpster.
Yeah, I can't see the power wheels anymore.
Oh, boy. Okay, we're looking for a power wheel. Okay, well, looks like a stool in there. Okay. Yeah, hi, neighbors.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, oh, yep, there.
Rock roller.
Okay. Okay, I would say condition is suboptimal. Sorry, excuse the noise. Are we able to reach and grab? Hang on, let me move this, my happy place pillow.
Okay.
And then this box and this bag, this box, and this kid's bucket, and this neck pillow. That's
This thing has got some weight to it.
get ready. Oh my God! You're not kidding. What is on the front here?
Kyle, I'm going in.
You going? Steve is making the. Okay. Are you going to be able to do that? Do you need me to like when we're kids? You need to use my hand to step up. Oh, they got a ladder for you. Okay. Don't feel free to get a vibe on that recliner while you're in there too, and see if that looks comfy. Everybody will be able to see the shape that this is in, and the fact that we're moving Christmas decorations to get to this Power Wheel. Oh man,
This thing's heavy duty.
what are we? What are you thinking? How's it? Okay, I see some dangling cords.
No, I think that's just something that got wrapped around the motors. Okay. Pretty heavy duty.
I am impressed by whatever this thing is.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready. Oh jeez. Okay. Well, it's gonna need some windshield work because it's totally broken up there. I wouldn't say there's a padded seat. And there again, cords just dangling out and running.
No, I think that's just.
Okay.
I think it just ran over some stuff.
Try to get the front if you want to pull it from the back. Yep. All right, let's go. Well, you're not kidding. Okay. Well, here we have it, folks. We were digging through neighbors' dumpsters. Well, you move that steering wheel a little bit, see if it has any connection to the wheels itself. Hey, this is the MDK4, the rock roller. MX4 rock roller. So this thing is meant for off-roading, Steve.
All right. Do you see a seat in there?
No, but I'd say feel free to go ahead and grab some of these pillows and make the best of it. Assume the battery. Oh, is that screwed down? I don't know where the battery would even be.
Probably. Okay.
I mean, listen, it's seen better days. There's cracked frame everywhere. Does that open? Is that supposed to open?
It opens out.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to like lift out and in, or out and, oh, okay, so you got to use the switch. Yeah, well, the doors work. There's no seat, and we just ripped off the windshield. I'd say we're well on our way to your son being thrilled with this new toy.
It's perfect.
So,
Jury's still out?
well, we threw it back in there. Yeah, it didn't. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know why I would have expected that something that was sitting in their garage for a year and a half, then sitting outside for a few weeks in the elements, the rain, the snow, then in a dumpster.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I expected to pull that thing out, hit the button, and it was just going to go. That was not the case. So, yeah, I mean, I think you were still recording in the video.
Yeah.
Promptly threw it right back in there.
I think there's always that kind of dream or feeling like where you see, I don't know if you watch anymore. I haven't watched. You see clips of it, right? Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
Where it's always same middle-aged person. Yeah, great grandpappy Vern left this, and it ends up being, whatever, Hitler's China Bowl,
Yeah.
So I don't know why I thought we would find Hitler's Power Wheel in the neighbor's dumpster.
It's funny how expectations are different between people, because that
You weren't expecting Hitler's Power Wheel?
it was not expecting.
I'll post that on the poll. Are you always expecting to find Hitler's Power Wheel in the neighbor's junk?
Yeah. All right. It's interesting to know what your expectations were.
But you and I were similar in thinking, like, this thing might be redeemable, drivable. Like,
Yeah.
the kid, Nikki B, would find joy in this.
Oh, he would love it.
Until you spent a quarter of a second rocking, and you'll be able to see this on video, rocking back and forth one half of the broken windshield and realizing that was not salvageable. But for a Jeepsman like you,
Yeah.
that's nothing.
Exactly.
That's preferred.
Do you remember what this thing was called again? It was
MX Rock Roller? MX Roller? Something with rock. It was meant to climb rocks. Okay?
okay.
And For what I expected, I wouldn't say it was worse off, Steve, than what I anticipated after knowing it had been sitting in the garage, sitting out, and then being thrown into a dumpster with stuff on top of it. I don't think it was worse off than what I thought it would be.
Wow.
What about you?
This thing has, first of all, it was very expensive.
It also looked like you and I both have Power Wheels for our kids.
Yeah.
We know what they are. And I don't know if we're able to say, well, back in my day, Power Wheels were this or that. Because I don't remember. I never had one when I was a kid.
There's no chance I had one. That was the one thing I asked for every Christmas, every birthday until I was like 23. I still
Steve was a senior in college, mailing his Christmas list to Santa Claus, asking for that Power Wheel.
Yeah.
Never came through. Never came through.
Wow.
But this thing, feeling this thing and feeling
this is
your,
it, right?
Yeah. And feeling your kids.
Look at this.
Oh, look at the reviews.
It's got a 3-mile range. Oh, the reviews don't look good. 2 out of 5 stars.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an under 2. I would say most people think something in that advertisement is not as written. Okay. But having lifted that, Steve, and having lifted and moved around my son's Power Wheel, this thing felt closer to an automobile than a Power Wheel.
Okay, so it looks like the AI overview. Customers admire the Rock Roller MX4 UTV powered ride-on for its impressive 3-mile range, maximum speed of 5.5 miles per hour. However, several customers have expressed disappointment due to missing parts, particularly the rear axle.
Okay, well,
this one had a rear axle.
we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Are you?
Which caused inconvenience and frustration, especially for those who received the product just before Christmas.
Boo-hoo, kids. Time to learn adulthood. Steve is 23, learning that Santa wasn't bringing him a Power Wheel. Okay, so you're missing one rear axle on your souped-up rock climber.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
There are plenty of kids who would die to have an axle.
Looking at this now.
Just bad. Ordered this for my son. It was supposed to be his big Christmas. Arrived about 10 days before. We hit it in a neighbor's garage, and we're in oh, come on, get to the point.
And honestly, I'm flipping through this review. Parts were missing. Fully understood. I haven't seen a review yet that has to say anything about the actual product. Because if this thing can actually go 3 miles and can actually go 5.5 miles per hour, Steve, I think you and I may have to return to the dumpster.
Okay.
And see if we can salvage this thing.
Okay, now this next review, missing rear axle.
Again, for us, does not matter.
This one, don't do it. Took almost 3 weeks to receive. Don't have to worry about that. One of the wheels was busted. Sure, it happened during shipping. I can't hold the company account. Okay, again, these are all things that would not apply to us.
I have yet to see a 1-star review.
Okay,
so this is the first one.
Battery does not last.
Yep.
Battery only lasts for maybe 30 minutes and takes longer than that to charge. Okay, kids love it. Battery sucks.
And I already know what you and I are thinking in regards to that.
Upgrade.
We're getting rid of that battery anyway because we don't think it probably functions anyway.
Now here's the rare 5-star. Perfect car.
Thank you, Sandra. Sandra loves it. The kids love it.
Terrible customer service.
Don't care.
Damaged product. Ours is already damaged.
Yeah, and I don't care about customers or service. Steve, I think there's a chance we have to go back out there.
The dumpster's still there.
So I think if we go back out there, we need to take that directly to your warehouse because I don't want Nikki B to see it.
Yeah.
Because it's not drivable.
No.
That's going to need, but I think, listen, we could retrofit some type of padded seat because it's just a piece of plastic.
Yeah, we'll 3D print something.
If you go back up to that picture, was there supposed to be a seat or was that it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because it was missing a seat. You'll be able to see in the video. It's just a long piece of plastic that you sit on.
Yeah, it looks like a skateboard, basically.
And it didn't look like the comfiest thing that a kid would sit on.
Yeah, definitely a seat.
Okay.
Definitely.
So we need to do some investigation into the dumpster. You'll be able to also see on our social media this week at Steve and Kyle the photos of Steve and I ripping through a dumpster. And if you're wondering what it looks like, it looks exactly like what it sounds like.
Yeah.
2 weirdos digging through someone's garbage. Those will be posted on our social media as well at Steve and Kyle. I think you and I need to take a look and see if we could make this work because this thing is quite a rig that I think Nikki B would love.
If we can do a battery upgrade,
yeah,
maybe find like an old kitchen table and chairs so you can snag the chairs from.
Because what I can tell you is that Nikki B doesn't care about some cracked plastic on the frame. Nikki B doesn't care about the fake windshield with not even plastic in it being removed.
Nope.
Okay?
Nikki B is going to destroy this thing no matter what.
And I want to see videos of Nikki B tearing through this neighborhood and people's property with this souped up Power Wheel within the... I listen, I know you said you don't want another project. No. But I feel like that's a lie because that's typically what you do.
Actually, yes.
Is add on projects. And now knowing that we're coming up into a year where it sounds like you're punting on a few of the projects that may have been mentioned.
You never know.
And I shouldn't say punting, but there was a problem with the siding. You were going to replace the siding, but you maybe have fixed the problem. We haven't gotten to that. We don't have time to get to that today anyway. I think a project is exactly what you need. And I think...
I don't know about that.
Really? Are you looking... And don't tell me this, because this is going to kind of break my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you looking at a year off?
It would be nice. I mean, it would be nice without a big project year. Although I already kind of have one lined up with the... Gotta get 6 cubic yards of crushed stone dropped off in my driveway. I have to rent a backhoe.
Oh, what is your backhoe experience?
I drove one once, like a tractor with a backhoe attachment.
How did it go? Did you slide right into it? Did you feel like you were...
Yeah, it took a little while to figure out all the controls, but I did it just fine.
So you figure the second time, you're probably going to jump back in like riding a bike, and you'll be backhoeing all the way from the point A to point B. I don't know what the plan is.
Yes. Yeah. I think it'll just be like riding a bike.
So
riding a backhoe.
You need to get, again, rocks delivered and a piece of heavy equipment delivered over your fence. Does it open?
No.
Opens wide enough to go through?
It opens enough because I can fit the Comanche through there.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't see what the problem is.
And this is going to be a you thing where are you just kind of... Is this a project that you're going to kind of eyeball?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. This feels, for someone like you, a bit too lax.
Nah.
Going in. And I have a feeling we're closer to, I don't want to say panic, but like I feel like you get 6 hours in and you're going to realize maybe a couple things. One,
Kyle, we are 1 week out from me jumping into a dumpster to pull a Power Wheels out that my neighbor put in there.
Yes, you did.
I'm not that picky anymore. Okay. I used to be.
So you're saying you're willing to let this project evolve into... Because this project for me sounds awful. One, in doing it, and two, in the possible, if I don't do it the way it should be done. You have a dog. Not a small dog. Not a slow-moving dog.
Yeah.
If Toby gets out there and has the zoomies and is ripping back and forth, and day 2 of Steve's crushed stone project, and all you see is a hurricane of stone being kicked up by your dog's feet, you're not going to care.
Well, I mean, that is... When it comes to my list of concerns, Toby digging through stones is so far at the bottom.
I don't mean digging. I mean when he's running, that stone coming up, and now next thing you know, everywhere in your yard, you have crushed stone being kicked.
No, not worried about that.
Oh man,
in the least.
What? I'm trying to hang on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
Okay.
What the hell happened to you, man? First, I'm going to isolate that forever.
That's actually the sound of me giving up. I've given up on life. I've given up on trying to have things exactly the way that I want them.
Your heart used to be in DIY.
It still is, but it's not in perfect DIY. It's in good enough DIY.
The last 90 seconds beg to differ because
I am just look, I need to make a little driveway access path.
Yeah.
I need to get a bunch of stone and just dump it in one area.
Yep.
It just needs to be better than dirt. I don't need it. Like, I'm not going to put edging on it and have little plants all along. I just want a little stone driveway.
So is this strictly financial that you're simply saying you're going to do it?
Yeah, I guess
Because if it's a project
I
you don't
wouldn't
really
even really know who to call to just deliver
sure.
a
Right.
bunch of. I mean, I guess it would just be a landscaping company, but like I
Yeah.
said, I don't want. Because if I hire somebody, they're going to come out and say, "Okay, well, what we have to do, we have to
nice
build
decorative,
retaining walls here." And no,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Right.
I
We
just
don't want
need-
any code things.
I need stones dumped in a spot.
and then you're just going to smash them down.
Yeah, I'm going to get a tamper. It goes.
Listen, I was willing to help you with the siding project. I was on board.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested in this one.
No, not even to drive some heavy equipment.
Oh God, no, I wouldn't even get near that thing.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. That would probably.
I don't know if it would be defibrillator related, but that's the last thing I need is heavy machinery.
We wouldn't want the backhoe to start talking with Oinky.
Yep. And next thing I know, I'm either zapped to the moon or collapsing while my arm just jams forward on whatever type of power this thing
Right.
has.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're building another new deck
Yeah.
because I've run through it.
So you want nothing to do with heavy equipment rental usage.
No, and let me tell you, I think this is because of you.
What?
I feel like with the siding, you were gung ho. You're like, hey, I haven't done it before. I'm going to get up there. What's the worst that can happen? We're going to rip it off, run into a few birds' nests. We'll smack them away with brooms. But whatever, you're like, hey, I haven't done it. But what's the worst that can happen? And I said, you know what? I'll be there to help you do that.
A lot could happen. A lot
But-
bad could happen. So you would rather help me reside an entire house.
I never said entire.
Reside a good amount of a house.
Never said I'd be there.
So you will strictly be present.
You're welcome. But that sound that came out of your mouth about 2 minutes ago made me a little sad. When I asked you, it was a real, because these projects, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I would say that you used to maybe look forward to these.
I do. I look forward to them, certain ones.
But this one is this one is not a look forward to. It's a want to get it done for you.
Well, I mean, I'm going to enjoy driving a backhoe.
Sure.
I'll look forward to that.
Because at the end of the day, you're still at heart a 9-year-old who likes big, loud bum 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 bums.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's why we were just pulling a Power Wheel a week ago from a dumpster. Because you never know.
Yeah.
When we might find something that would be good for us.
Uh-huh.
This one makes me a little sad.
Okay.
So I'm going to need you to pick up a second project this year that can give you a little bit of enthusiasm.
Something big.
Yes.
Something that no one has ever attempted to do without professional help.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll see what I can come up with in the next couple of months, I guess.
I'll give you till next week. And I'd like to report maybe a top 3 if you could, and then we'll narrow them down with Annette's help. It's her house too,
sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
And we can go through them with her and you, and we can figure out which project we want to tackle together as a family and see.
Right. Us as a family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I always like to get your plans for the year, and there's something that I meant to ask you a couple of weeks ago. We talked about you. Our record schedule has been a little funky here and there this spring, but I think it's the new norm for us at this point as we inch closer to that 7-year timeline where we end this podcast.
Yeah.
Remember, we need to
right.
be in service one day longer than the Edmund Fitzgerald. And then,
Such a strange measuring stick.
that is our goal as a podcast. One day more.
Well, then we can say that we were officially better than the Edmund Fitzgerald.
As if there was any question, but we just need the timeline to confirm that. And that way we can sell retirement tour merch.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm sure that would
with
sell.
a picture of us flipping double birds to the Eddie Fitz as it sinks.
That would go over well.
Just got to get on a local news somewhere where we're like somehow ambushed by a reporter. We're here with one half of the Insensitive podcast. Huh? Us? It was just AI.
I mean,
I'm going to media
we're
Bobcat
going
to deflect.
Bobcat.
Yes.
You have to go Bobcat to deflect.
So while we have spoken about our upcoming vacation, and I wouldn't even call it a vacation, we're going to be in BOG, that's Boots on Ground, in Boston for 28 hours, 26 hours in total. We have not talked about a trip that a little short jaunt you took with the family recently
Yeah.
that I need to ask you about, because you mentioned something offhand. I don't know if it was on the podcast or off podcast where we were just talking, which we do occasionally, rarely.
Remember.
but where you had told me I don't want to say downtrodden, Steve, because that's not fair. But you were a little bit beaten up about something, and I don't have any details on this, so I need to know about what happened in Chicago, because Chicago is a city that is...
That's the city that never sleeps.
They call it the Magic City.
Yeah.
And it is big, and I think it's probably implied more than it actually is that it's walkable and commutable. Or, the transit system, but Chicago's not my favorite.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that as someone who I don't hate Chicago. If I had to pick a big city to go visit for a couple days, it would not be Chicago.
Sure.
Chicago would not be in my top 3. But for kids, big tall buildings,
a lot of stuff,
lake
there.
Out there,
There's,
go to the tall stuff and all
museums,
yes,
aquarium, all of that stuff.
You're a seasoned pro when it comes to travel.
Yeah, I'm a seasoned pro when it comes to me traveling.
That's what I wonder what happened.
There's a big difference. Like when I'm on a work trip, yes, I'm traveling with other people, but they're all adults and they're all responsible for their own things. So I don't have to worry about, is Kelly going to make the flight, or is Freebeer going to miss the whatever?
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that because...
And also, you don't care.
No, I do not care at all.
No.
I'd actually prefer it if they would all miss the flights.
All grown-ups, by the way, to your point, if they miss the flight or their flight gets... nothing you're responsible for.
Sure.
Okay, call airline rep, fix it.
Yeah,
but
figure it
when
out.
you're with your family, Evelyn, who I think is she 9 or 10 now?
She is still 6.
6?
Yeah.
Jeez. They don't understand this. So
No.
if anything happens, car ride, train ride, elevator ride, they don't understand.
Can you imagine if we get to the airport, we're sprinting through the airport, and I just take off and leave Evelyn and Nikki behind? Like, just keep following me.
It's the Home Alone, right?
Yes.
Where Kevin's following the brown coat.
It's exactly Home Alone.
But in this case, they're following a guy with a backpack.
Yeah.
And they just assume it's you. And so next thing you know, poor Annette and your kids are in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And you're in...
I'm in Paris.
And you're in Rochester. Why you're vacationing in Rochester, New York, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I don't know what the family's into.
So I had a long weekend maybe a month ago at this point, and we had decided probably 6 months ago, hey, let's go to Chicago for a couple of days. We'll get an Airbnb. We're going to check out all the touristy stuff.
So even skipped didn't even go hotel.
No.
Okay.
So we wanted to do the thing where you go to the, like you said, top of the Willis Tower.
Yep.
You get which is a cool experience.
It's fine.
So
it's a tall building.
It's a tall building, but I mean, a cool experience for kids.
Yeah.
They were all on board with that.
Also, don't want to sound like I'm acting like I'm above. Like, it's still it's a unique experience to be
Exactly.
at 100 stories up. It's just, for me, that's 30 seconds of joy, because then I realize the elevator ride up and down is now longer than I care to be up here.
Yeah, for adults, it's a little bit, I don't know, lackluster.
Yeah.
But for kids, like, I enjoy watching the kids enjoy that kind of stuff. So, you get to walk out into the glass box that dangles out over the side of the building and take some fun pictures and everything.
Yep.
So that was really cool. So, but when we first got there, or leading up to the trip, my wife said, hey, you can buy these, like, I don't know what they were called, maybe experience passes, where it's the Willis Tower, it is the aquarium, and
Shed Aquarium, which is noted as one of the best aquariums in the country.
and then the Museum of Science and Technology, I think
Science
it's
and
called.
Industry, I believe.
Science and
MSI,
Industry.
yeah.
Yes. And she said, you can, if you buy them all through this one city app, you gotta, you save like 30-40%
Yeah.
if you buy it all through there.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, cool. And then she's like, yeah, for all of us, it's like $500 some because it's the two of us, 2 kids, and my mom. So,
Man.
my mom was like, because she flew out for it, she's like, well, I want to pay for, she wanted to split it with us because she wants to, pay for the kids to go to the whatever. So we're like, all right. So we figured out, we did the math, and she gave us some money for it. So we split it. Still very expensive.
Yeah.
But worth it, I think. So the day we get there, we didn't get there until later on in the evening, so we just kind of grabbed dinner, got to the Airbnb. Then the next day, that was the big day. We were going to, in the morning, Evelyn and my mom and my wife were going to go to the American Girl doll store.
Right. which is it's the biggest one or a big one, right?
Massive.
So you weren't remotely interested to see that. Even
I mean, I would have gone, but
Right.
I knew that having Nikki there,
he wasn't going to care.
he was going to have no interest in that.
He was looking for the destroyed MX rollers.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, they planned it when they built this place. They planned it perfectly because the Lego store is right next door.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is great. We'll go to the Lego store.
Which those are super affordable.
Well, they're at the American Girl doll store.
Yeah.
And I quickly learned that they should have made either the American Girl doll store smaller or the Lego store bigger, because the Lego store, not big at all. I mean, you can be through there in 20 minutes.
Okay.
So we got through the whole store. We bought some Legos and went over to the American Girl doll store, met up with them. They weren't even close to being done.
They'd just gotten through the bonnets section,
Yeah.
and they were moving over to shoes.
Well, plus they had an appointment or a reservation at the American Girl doll
sorry,
cafe.
I'm sorry,
There's-
excuse me?
Yeah, there's a cafe there where you can go and you can take your doll and put it in a high chair, and then you can have like tea and crumpets or whatever.
Okay. Like they feed you actual
food, yes.
Not like they put a plate down. They're like, give your doll the tea and crumpets, and then you realize it's just empty that you're paying for. Right?
This is real stuff.
Okay.
And Evelyn had been looking forward to this for months. So I was happy for her. I was happy that they were experiencing it. But I knew that Nikki and I had minimum 2 hours that we had to kill. But it was around lunchtime. So he starts saying, Dad, I'm hungry. I'm like, all right, cool. So we found a place, sat down, ordered him. He wanted a hot dog and fries, ordered that for him. He did not even touch the food. Now, he was getting over being sick. We thought it had been out of his system, but it was hitting him hard then.
Do not tell me this is a near repeat.
Nope.
Because
there were poop incidences, but they were back at the Airbnb.
I will do my best to make that the flashback this week. The last fecal matter related disaster on Steve's vacations.
I will do my best not to listen to that one.
Was Poop Fest
2023,
where everybody got sick on the Steve family vacation. And by family, I mean extended family.
Yes.
And it was not a trip fondly remembered.
Nope.
By anybody?
Well, not our family.
I'll check in with Mike when we see Mike in Boston in a little over a month. I'm going to say, Mike, what are your memories of the Tennessee trip of 2023?
If he doesn't say feces,
he's going to be the first word out of his mouth,
that's going to
right?
be the biggest upset ever.
Unbelievable. Okay.
So Nikki and I, we went to this place. We grabbed lunch. I ate. He didn't, and he was like, Dad, I'm tired. I want to go home. I want to take a nap, he never says that.
Oh, boy.
So I knew he was feeling like crap. Now, we had driven into the city from our Airbnb. And so I just texted Annette and I was like, hey, I might just take him back to the Airbnb.
Tell her, grab a bike in February. And
No, it was, she was like, no problem at all. If he's feeling like crap, I don't want it to be miserable.
Yeah.
Take him back there. And she said, we'll just grab an Uber. It'll be expensive, but whatever.
Yeah, we still got the bows to get through.
Right. Yeah. Oh, don't forget. Yeah. They just set up the shoelace display.
And you're not going to believe this. Sparkles. Right?
So as Nikki and I are walking back to the car, which was like 2 blocks away, there was a big playground. Well, that caught his attention. And he's like, oh, can I go to the playground? And he got his second wind. Yeah, okay. So let's kill time here. Dude, he ended up playing at that playground for like 90 minutes.
What is it with this family in parks?
I don't know. I think we're a park-centric family.
This is a concrete jungle of a city. And I'm not saying Chicago hasn't done a fine job of carving out community areas, right?
I mean, look. This was no Carmel.
Well, obviously.
But this was a hell of a park. In the urban jungle, we found an oasis.
Is this how we wrap up the podcast, with a live episode from Carmel's playground or whatever, as we talk about our love of Carmel while we flip double birds to dead sailors?
So we end up being at this park for over an hour and a half. And it worked out that as we were about ready to wrap it up again, Annette said, hey, we're heading towards the door now. We just spent the family treasure at the cash register. We're on our way out.
Piggy banks have been broken.
I said, this is great. So we picked them up back to the Airbnb. that was the end of that day.
Okay. A busy day. A busy
Very
enough
busy day,
right? Because
so-
you commuted in that day and,
Yeah.
and then you did stuff.
I'm sorry, no, that wasn't the end. Then we did Willis Tower because Nicky had gotten like his 4th or 5th wind at that
The
point.
same day?
Yeah. So
Oh,
we do that.
God.
Then we go back to the Airbnb. We're
Yeah.
done for the night. Next morning, we now have, so we've already done Willis Tower. So we have the aquarium and the museum.
That's 2 out of 3 of the big ticket items. And I mean literal tickets because you guys paid for the city pass.
Yeah. So we are at the aquarium by like 9 a.m.
Up and at 'em.
Had a blast.
Okay.
It was great.
So the dolphins doing those.
Saw the dolphins, saw the
beluga whales.
saw
You see
the
beluga
whales.
See the beluga whales?
It was great. The kids loved it.
How could you? If you don't love an aquarium, I'm begging you to find something that brings you joy in life. Because
Yeah.
outside of the idea of animals are not trapped and they're meant for the open water and that they would probably prefer to swim in the ocean with their brethren and stuff. And then, their families are dead. And if they put them out in the water, they'd
they'd
probably
immediately
die.
die.
And other than that, a joy.
I did find it a little sad that the belugas and the dolphins, I mean, it looks like they have a very big area to swim in. Obviously not the ocean.
Right. I don't know if you've
But-
seen the ocean.
But it's like right up against Lake Michigan. So if they jump out of the water, they no doubt see the lake and think, granted, I mean, I don't think they know the difference between freshwater and saltwater,
no.
but they probably see all that and think, wow, that would be nice. Oh, okay, I'm back in this concrete pool.
I think it's safe to say that's why they're jumping.
Right.
They're trying to get out. Right?
Like, they bounce off the glass.
I would bet after hours, those idiot mammals are bouncing off glass, hitting the concrete because they're begging for an ounce of freedom.
We just want to fly.
While tens of thousands of doofuses like us are going, look at this fin. It goes back and forth when he swims.
Think it'll jump?
It's a tennis ball with his nose. Is it a beach ball?
But anyway, so we're there from 9 a.m. till about noon, 12:30, and we think at that point, all right, we're going to run back, grab some lunch real quick, and then we're going to do the museum, the science and industry, technology, whatever it is, in the afternoon. Things didn't go as quickly as we had hoped.
Oh, no.
And we were at the Airbnb a little longer than usual because some attitudes weren't good.
Okay. Which,
And-
hey, anybody with children who's gone on any trip or not even a trip.
Oh, I'm including my attitude in that because it had been a hectic couple of days.
Unexpected inclusion, but I appreciate the forthrightness. Steve, you sat at breakfast and said, you know what? I need a timeout. And you go like stomp into a room and
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't been a little bit stressed during the day just because, there's a lot going on.
didn't that give you the crayons in your timeout or did you?
Something. I don't think that everybody's attitude was super, super top notch, but we were getting by.
So it was a day.
We were getting by, but our whole goal was to be back at the Airbnb by noon. We'll eat lunch. We'll be out the door by 1, back to the museum, which was only like 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
We ended up not getting to the museum until 4 o'clock.
At that point, I think I'm scrapping it.
The museum closes at 4:30.
Oh my God. Now, I don't know how you travel. Like overall, do you try to keep an agenda, a schedule, a list of things like, hey, let's get through this?
The plan for that day was
Aquarium
in the morning,
Museum.
museum in the afternoon.
Yep.
We were under the impression, we knew that we were going to be cutting it close, but we were under the impression that it closed at like 5:30 or something. So we're like, all right, we're going to get there. We're going to have an hour and a half to run around, but it's a massive, massive place. And I mean, we're walking in, going up the escalator. Everybody else is on the down escalator.
Looking at you, assuming that you're probably a terrorist. Why else would you be coming in at this time of day?
And every employee that we pass does that whole like, does the watch check.
Well, and also they're probably thinking like the sooner everybody's out of here, sooner I'm out of here.
I get it. Their
right?
shift ends at a certain time. They want to be out of there. And so everybody we pass, we got 17 minutes. And we really wanted to see the submarine, which is about as far away from the entrance
Opposite
as
end.
possible.
It feels like they moved the submarine off of Lake Michigan to the nearest wall.
So we managed to get a quick peek at the submarine.
Okay.
Didn't even get to go inside of it, which is all Nikki wanted to do. Oh. And then as fast as we got there, we were walking back out the door. And that was a failure to me. I felt I took a lot of...
Okay.
I was very sad about that. I felt like I failed my children that day.
This is an individual pressure for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try to ease that for you a little bit.
Okay.
Because as someone who's, like I said what I said about Chicago, I've been there not as much as you. I've only been there handful of times. I think that museum sucks.
Really?
For kids.
Really? Because there's a lot. I mean, granted, we didn't see much of it, but what we did see was
those escalators.
There's a lot of things that, like you go through the farming area.
Yes.
So the kids can climb up into the big harvester machines and everything.
I think your kids being the age they are, which again, I think you said like 9 and 6.
Nope.
Close enough.
Still 6 and 3.
Or I don't think that they had, honestly...
Yeah.
90 minutes there, I think, may have been 30 minutes too long anyway.
We were hoping, our goal was, because you know how their time works for little kids.
Yeah.
2 hours, you're pushing it. We were hoping to have 3 hours available there.
Yeah.
Where we would have been able to go in, walk around for an hour and a half, maybe stop at the snack bar or whatever, cafeteria, get a little bit of food, get a snack, then hit some stuff up on the way out. Turns out that we didn't quite have that. We had about, I think, 23 minutes total inside of the place. And, so it seems like we'll probably be making a trip back there at some point.
Just for that, though.
At some point. And we will dedicate the entire day to that. So we'll get there at 10 in the morning. If we're done by 1, cool. Yeah. We'll hit the road.
Yeah.
But if it turns out they want to stay longer, we'll have all the time in the world.
I was just at this museum. That very museum, took the trip specifically for this museum less than 4 months ago.
Okay, what was your timeline like?
We took the train at like 6 a.m. from our home base here. Got Chicago, whatever time, do the math, right? 3 hours-ish. So we didn't have the timeline the whole day. I'd have been happy if there was a noon train to bring me home.
Okay.
But I was an adult, and I went to the Museum of Science and Industry to go see the Spider-Man exhibit.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that you mentioned the Spider-Man exhibit. I know we are so far up against it. One of my greatest accomplishments as a father is avoiding gift shops. So as you know, when you come down that escalator, and if you look off to the left, there's a 6-story tall Spider-Man on the wall to the left.
Yep.
To the right at the bottom of that escalator is the gift shop.
Of course it is, because they know what they're doing.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's weird that the museum closes at 4:30, but the gift shop, that's open till like 10 p.m.
Guys, got to go unless you're exiting through the gift shop, and you got another hour.
So we get on this escalator, and I look over at that gift shop, and I was like, we're not going in there. We've been here for 20 minutes. The car is still warm. And I look over. See my buddy Spidey up on the wall. I said, Evelyn, check out Spider-Man. She's like, yeah. Just kind of gives it a glance. I said, I think his eyes are following us.
First of all, it's a bit terrifying.
And she said, really? You're kidding. I said, no. I bet if you stare at him long enough, his eyes will follow you.
Oh, Steve.
She stared at that thing down the entire escalator, all the way across like the lobby to the elevator, to the point where she was looking over her shoulder back at Spider-Man for about 3 minutes. It's about a 3-minute walk. We get to the elevator on the other side at the parking garage. I was like, did you see his eyes move? She said, no, I didn't. I was like, oh, man. And then my mom looks at me. She goes, I know what you're doing. you're distracting her from the gift shop. And I said, you shut your mouth.
No offense.
No, none taken.
When did you turn into such a Steve, we have neglected to mention this coming up because you and I don't do a lot of stuff out and about. And when we do, we make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
We've mentioned the Boston trip coming up, but this is the first thing we have tried to plan or tried to get together with people in a little bit.
A couple of years, yeah.
So coming up, Friday, April 24th. That is less than 3 weeks away. I think less than a month away. The night before your side gig show that you guys are having in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the home base here.
Home base.
A couple of our intrepid and fantastic listeners, Chris Pruitt and Timmy, have organized again a karaoke night for this very podcast.
Yes.
Now, you and I, something happened last year. We could not make it because I remember it happened last year.
Yeah, I don't remember if I was traveling or what.
But 2 years ago, we made it and we went, and it was a great time.
We had a fun night.
And there's still some video of, maybe we make that the flashback this week of, because I know I did karaoke. We did karaoke together up there.
Yeah.
A fun night.
Yeah.
And I think the current plan, last you and I spoke, and I'm kind of springing this on you, I think we're going to be back this year.
Yeah, that is the plan. That is absolutely the plan for me to go this year. I'd love to have my wife go too, but I don't think that that's going to work.
You don't think she wants to go, or just
I
stuff?
think she wants to, but
Yeah.
we have a sitter for the following night
Because
for
you guys have the
the
show.
night show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if so TBD on that.
You ever
but-
think about just bringing the kids to the green room, having them take a nap?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah,
Could
we
be
could do
fun.
that. Yeah,
Could be
maybe
fun.
have them sit side stage.
Yeah, just put the booze like 6 feet in the air instead of, and whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Apologies, by the way, if you hear the the leaf blowers blowing in the backyard.
Leaf pickup season here at Steve Manor.
Yeah.
Again, Friday, April 24th. That's Fulton Street Pub and Grill. Now, I know Chris Pruitt set this up. He put 5:30 p.m. Eastern. That's not going to happen.
That's pretty early.
That's a little bit too early. I work until 5. Steve, you
But then again, I don't want to be out too late either. Okay. So
here we go with this. Here we go. When did you become the fun police, though? Like policing your time? Like that's me. That's my job. Okay. We talked about poker and poker night last week on last week's episode, and I was out until midnight, and I left. Nobody else left. They were out there until 2 a.m.
Oh no.
And now we're sitting here talking about a 5:30 Eastern start for karaoke. So stay tuned.
I want to be in bed by 8:15.
Okay. Get ready for a rambunctious night at the karaoke bar. Again,
Karaoke happy hour. It turns out it is.
That is Fulton Street Pub and Grill in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Friday, April 24th, the night before the Grand Rapids live show. I know some listeners and some fans of the podcast commute in for that show.
Yes.
So they're going to be in town Friday. So if you'd like to hang out with us, that event has been shared on our social media at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. I'll share it again.
I'm actually going to create an event on our Facebook page just using all of the same info.
And it can link to this as well, but it's the same thing. Steve and Kyle podcast, karaoke extravaganza. Love to see you out there. Have some drinks with us. Have some food. Sing some music. Make sure it's podcast-related music, okay? Don't go bring in your own personal, this is my karaoke song. No, it's Eddie Fitz. It's Bruce Springsteen. It's Kesha, right? Those are the 3 big ones.
That is the Holy Trinity.
That is the Holy Trinity of our podcast music.
I mean, if you throw in some Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga,
we have to sing it, right?
Is that it?
We have to sing
Is that
Shallow.
it this year?
Well, I think we have to.
I mean, I got my Cooper hair. My Cooper hair is
coming back in. We have
Look at
not.
this. Look at this.
We have not talked about this because when you initially were planning on doing siding for the year, I was going to hold your feet to the fire, and it was going to be some type of hair-related punishment or incentive to get it done.
Yeah, there's no punishment. I've taken that upon myself.
But Annette hates that.
She hates it so much.
So it's a punishment for her. So maybe vis-a-vis, it makes you do the project quicker. But now that that's not happening, we need to figure out another avenue. But like you said, as of now, and we've got 3 weeks, I think if you let that go for 3 weeks and you really hone it in, right? Maybe, whether it's a trim or a styling choice.
I haven't touched it since November.
November?
Yeah.
God. What I would give. What I would give.
You want me to cut my hair and we'll make you a wig?
Do we have a wig maker out there?
Okay, if you're a wig smith,
Yeah. I don't mean calling you a wig maker like demeaning what the work is.
no.
I just don't know what the work is called. So wigsmith or wigsman. If you have an avenue on that, Steve, what you're saying right now is after karaoke night,
Yeah.
you'll buzz your head.
No.
And I'm not talking bald.
No.
What do you mean? You just said.
Well, I'm not going to buzz it.
Well, how would you get the hair off?
Well, I mean, I'd give myself a nice short haircut.
Well, I don't want like an inch and a half of hair because then it just looks like I'm awkward.
I think you're just getting greedy now. I offered you my hair, and all you want is more.
So about 4 inches of hair. I would love it. We got to make that happen.
Okay.
We've got to make that happen. So come on.
I mean, we got that wig right behind us that somebody sent.
It's a beautiful, beautiful head of hair. Come on out, April 24th, Fulton Street Pub and Grill. Come join us for podcast karaoke night, the night before Steve's side gig live show.
Yeah, we apologize for the lopsided episode this week. I know that normally we take a break more in the middle of the show, but
We're all out of sorts with
things just got away from us this week.
TBD on knockoff Power Wheel returning to the Steve house.
Yeah, the dumpster's still out there, but I feel like we're on borrowed time. I got to go over there, pull it out of the dumpster, do a quick diagnosis, see if I can fix that thing.
See if we can see the seats that might be in there,
like,
broken off.
And then if it doesn't work, drag it back over there and throw it back in the dumpster, hoping that they haven't taken up the room that the dumpster or that the Power Wheels had vacated in the...
That video linked on all of our social medias as well. You can see the green and black roller that Steve is debating, pawning off on his kid.
Yeah.
As he can rip through the neighborhood for 3 hours.
A 3-mile range at 5.5 miles per hour.
So stay tuned for that. Again, that's at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and our YouTube link there is probably where the video is going to be posted.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Thank you. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya.